Hello, so this video is about to be a story time, and I already filmed this video like twice before, and I didn't like it, and I just undid my makeup because that was mainly the reason why I didn't like it. Like, I like how I told it in the story, like the past videos, but I didn't like how I looked. Like, I continued to look ugly. This story time is probably, so I think it's my first story time I've ever told. I know I filmed some before, but like, never told them, never actually posted them. I got like nervous because all these things I do, because like, okay, realistically, I have moved so many times in my life, and I have traveled a million and one places. Like, I've been around, not in a bad way, but like, you know, so I know a lot, and I've been through a lot, and I have a lot of really cool, funny story times. But this one in particular, I wasn't gonna ever post or make a video about, because not necessarily something that like you want to talk about a lot. But Antonio Garza made the video about the same thing, so if you watched it, you already know nothing to talk about. And I thought it was funny and entertaining, so I was like, my story's probably funny and entertaining too. So before I start all of this too, I do want to add that I was 13, really stupid, and lived in like a kind of semi-ghetto area, so like, it was poor as shit. Yeah, so this is a story time of the time that I was arrested for shoplifting. So let me give you like the setting. Now, there's 13-year-old me, and I live in this apartment. You literally cannot see me at all because it is nighttime and I'm editing. So yeah, but anyways, I just wanted to point out that I'm literally a fucking dumb bitch who does not know how to talk. So yeah, I apologize for any other dumb mistakes there may be in this video. Apartment? Good. I lived in this apartment complex, and it was like down the street from this Dollar General that I would go to all the time, and like, I would steal from it a lot. But like, not like a lot of things from it. Like, I'd go there multiple times and I'd only get like a candy bar or something, like, you know. So I, like, this time my dad was getting ready for work and no socks were clean, and he was like mad about it. He was like, here's a credit card, go buy me a pair of socks from the store. And he specifically told me, because like, my parents kind of knew that we, like, me and my sisters would like, he told me, and he specifically told me, like, he looked me in the eye and he was like, do not steal anything. And I was like, okay. So I grabbed this purse that wasn't mine. It was kind of like our family purse. Like, it was just a bag that we all shared, and we called it the hippie bag. And that was the thing that like we would always put stuff in. Like, that's how we stole our stuff. Like, we'd be like, put in the hippie bag. Like, really bad. But like, yeah, I don't know. So I walked up in there with my sister. Okay, so I walked in there with my younger sister, who's like only a year younger than me. Like, I'm not like, she's not like 5 or something, you know. So we walk in there, and she's like looking at stuff, and I'm looking at stuff, trying to find the socks. So she finds them, and I'm in the candy aisle, and I asked her, I say, what candy do you want? And I was getting a Kit Kat, so she was like, just get me a Kit Kat. So I got her a Kit Kat. So it was me and her. I had 2 Kit Kat bar thingy. Like, it's like the bags that have like multiple little ones in it. Like, the ones are $1, not the big ones like Halloween. That also needs to be clarified. So I put it in there along with this like decorative little faith thingy, which was like, I got it from my mom because Mother's Day was like coming up. And I'm pretty sure I also put a J14 like teenager magazine thing. It had like One Direction in it, and like Last Thing to Summer, and I needed it. Like, it was mine. Like, I had to get it. So I put it in the bag, and that is probably what got me caught. Because if you don't know how they're set up, it's like they have the magazines right here, and the registers right here in front of them. Like, I'm fucking stupid. So I grab it, and like, I didn't put it in the bag right there. Like, I like walked away with it and put it in the bag. And like, I guess they kind of knew, because like, I mean, who wouldn't fucking know? I didn't go put it back, like, duh. So we get done, like, with our shoplifting selves, and technically I'm the only one that stole anything. So yeah, it's also kind of like important for like later on in the story. So we're checking out, and this lady keeps on telling me, she's like, your card's declined, or she's like, this thing's not working, let me try it again. And she was saying, let's try it again. So this lady, like the other worker, walks up to the one that's checking us out, and she's like, gives her the phone, and she's like, they're on the phone. And my sister before that had told me, she was like, they're kind of watching you, be careful. So I was like, I heard that, and I was like, I know it's the police and I have to leave. So I tried to leave, and that's whenever the lady comes up running from around the freaking counter, and she goes, ma'am, I need to check your bag before you leave. And I was just like, that was it for me. And like, I thought I was gonna fucking die. So I was like not gonna tell her no, because then obviously they would know if I said no. Also, like, keep in mind that I walked into the store with an empty purse, like a purse that's like pretty big, like it's like big, okay, it holds a lot of stuff. So I walked in there with it completely empty and was trying to walk out with it full of stuff, and clearly they're gonna catch on. Like, I look back and I'm just like, you're fucking stupid, like you deserve to get caught, because are you kidding, like what the fuck. So they checked the bag, and she only pulls out a Kit Kat. Like, she, like, I guess she didn't see the other stuff in there. She just goes, you didn't pay for this. And I was like, yeah, I did, I know. And so she's like, come with me to the back, and she grabs my sister by like her arm and like drags her to the back with her. And so me and my older sister are sitting there, and they tell us, they're like, the police are on their way. You have to call your parents to come pick you up because you're both underage. But at this point in time, I only had a track phone that was not turned on, like activated. It was like just so I could like listen to music and play games. So I was like sitting there, and like, I know there's nothing in my contacts for my parents, and I told her, I said, I don't know their numbers. And she's like, she was like, it doesn't matter if you think you're gonna get in trouble, you have to tell us this information so we can call them, because you're gonna have to be picked up from here or the station either way. And I genuinely do not know the number at all. And she's like, what about someone else that you can call to come pick you up, or that can like get in contact with your parents? And I'm like, I know no numbers at all. And my sister knows. The only number my sister knew was my grandma, who lives in Texas, and we were in Kentucky at the time. So like, wouldn't do us no good. So I'm sitting there, barbecue sauce on my titties, or we're sitting there, and I'm like starting to like get upset, like I'm crying, cause like, yeah, I don't know, I got caught and I didn't want to like get in trouble. And yeah, so the police show up, and he puts me in handcuffs and like makes me sit back down in the room. And I'm sitting there just like telling him, trying to explain to him I don't know my parents' numbers. And he's like, well, give us your name so we can like put you in the system. And so I give him my name and my sister's name, and I tell him my name is Aria, even though it's actually Audia, because like, I know he would not spell it right. So I tell him, I said it's Aria Wall. And he looks up to me. Also, another like side note, my family is not like the best like Christian good family that does everything we're supposed to by the law. They weren't, at least not at this point. So we were the day before this, I guess my dad got like pulled over, or like something that involved a cop, right? So I tell him, I said Aria Wall. And he looks up, and he's like writing it down. He looks up and he goes, ma'am, I almost arrested your father yesterday. And I was like, are you sure? Because like, I didn't know about this. And he goes, your dad's William Wall, right? And I was like, yeah. Yeah. And he's like, Yeah, I let him go with the warning. Apparently I shouldn't have. And I was like, apparently you shouldn't have, like, fuck, I don't know. So he like tells me, and he's like, apparently your whole family is like corrupted and y'all are probably just a family of criminals. And he's like, are you sure you don't know their number? And I was like, yes. But then my sister remembered, down the street from here, my sister was at work at this like barbecue restaurant that's like a locally owned thing, right? So she's like, can you call there and have her, like, have them give the phone to her and she can call my parents or come here or something. And they ask how old she is, and we tell them, we're like, she's 18. So they're like, okay, she's an adult, we can call her. So one lady at first was like, no, like, she was just a bitch. I do not like her. She's very rude. Like, she was just being completely rude, and like in the moment, like taken to realization, I was 13 and like stupid, and like it was a candy bar. It was a couple candy bars and a $3 decorative thing and a freaking J14 magazine. Like, it's not like I just robbed you at gunpoint. Call my fucking sister. So the older lady calls the restaurant and is like, can I speak to Tony? And so they give the phone to her. They tell my sister to come here and that they can't like tell her what happened. They have to she has to come here and it's an emergency and she needs to get there right now. So my sister gets handed the phone back to her boss and was like, talk to them, I have to go, I'm like, I can't like wait. And she shows up. She yelled at me more than my parents did, which is kind of normal because that's just how she is. But she like got there and she was like yelling at me like, how could you do that? You're fucking stupid. Like, how could you do that? You're fucking stupid. Like, you're gonna be in trouble. You're gonna have charges on your name. You're gonna have a whole ass like it's gonna like affect your permanent record and everything. And I was just like crying. Like, before I was like kind of like whining, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't like crying. Whenever she showed up, I started bawling and like, oh my god. So she calls my parents and my dad gets there and he goes and the officer is just like talking to him like this is your daughter and you were almost arrested yesterday, like your whole family needs help. Like, he's basically bashing us. And yeah, basically where it ended, they like told him that we were gonna get a court date because we have to sit in court and we'll probably need a lawyer, which, you know, we got one appointed to us because we love being broke. So yeah, so like at the court date later on, they dropped my sister's charge because she didn't do anything. She was just there, and I had to go to community service for not community service. I had to do community service as part of this, but I had to like go to this lady who like works with teens who are like in trouble. And yeah, she kind of like, I had to go see her for like 6 months, and she works with like the court and stuff, you know. Moral of the story is, don't fucking steal from places. Like, you're just gonna get caught eventually and it's gonna end badly, and it's not fun to have to go see this freaking lady and miss a lot of school and then be behind in some classes because you had to go sit and do this community service and like extra schoolwork and extra everything. So yeah, just don't do it. It's not fun. You end up getting caught.